ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jeremy Jones, coming to you live from Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida for the 2019 U.S. Amateur Championships. We've got a great match here on the winner's side. Abe Schaad, the defending champion, against Joe Keith. Here's our format. It's a race to 7, combination of 8-ball and 9-ball, 5 games of 8-ball, 8 games of 9-ball. It's double elimination right now, and the winner of the lag chooses the format or the break. So like I said, this is a winner's side match.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PullDog.com. You want pool cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PullDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
All right, here we are. Not sure who won the lag, but we had Abe in the booth. Abe did, so he always takes the break. Told us that in a previous match when we had him in the booth. Real solid break there. He's made 1 stripe. Definitely has a starter on the stripes. And I believe a runnable rack. Made the 9 on the break. He's going to try and get that short position on the 10-ball first, maybe in the side, playing off the 14. Now he's going to have some stretch on the 14. So to be able to draw the ball might be difficult here while stretching. Okay, so here's where instead of drawing off the 14, if it's difficult, you may just shoot the 14 and use the 11 to get on that 10 in the side. You'd rather do it first if you can, but don't push the envelope there. I think the 15 passes in between the 7 and 8 to the lower left-hand corner, and that's what I was saying. Instead of trying to draw the ball immediately, maybe shoot the 14 and then the 11 off to fall in that area for the 10. But if the 15 passes in between the 8 and 7 to the lower left, you don't have to get on the 10 just right now. You could use the 15 to get on the 10 later in the rack. Now we've seen Abe here on the stream. I'm not so sure we've had Joe on the stream yet. Funny thing is, he doesn't want to end up short. Okay, so big stretch here, and that'll do. Especially because he'll notice the 15 does pass. And notice above the 5, the center of the table very open. So he can roll the 10 in here into the side, and then go up for that 12 that's in that upper right-hand corner. Okay, he got into the 5. So now he'll play the 13 off. One thing I saw about Abe is the patterns are pretty solid. But also whenever he got out of the pattern a little bit, recovered really nice. And just kind of like here, I think he wanted to come back for the 15 first, maybe. So now he's got a bit of a shot, but he's got a lot of room. So this is be a low right. English coming 2 rails back, kind of on the path the cue ball's on right now, going towards the 12. 2 rails back to the center of the table. He's got a lot of room there in the center. You'll notice no really obstructing balls to get jacked up on or snookered behind. And also, if he passes the 15, he's got the 11. So you don't want to err on the short side here. The long side is where you want to be. This looks perfect to me. And really good control, and that's what I just mentioned. When he gets out of the pattern a little bit or a little out of line, really good at recovering. Oh, and a rare miss So we'll get our first look at Joe Keith. Joe, 39 years old, from Dyersburg, Tennessee. Been playing pool 25 years. Got started with some friendly competition with his brother. I've got a couple of brothers, so I'm not sure exactly how friendly that is, but Joe from Dyersburg, but qualified 2 different times in Memphis for this event. Enjoys 9-ball, 10-ball, 1 pocket, and obviously plays some 8-ball. Qualifying in this event, and also has won 3 rounds on the winner side here. Okay, so he's looking at the 4, and then that leads easily to the 5 on the side. Well, he's hitting a high ball, it looks like. Oh, no. Okay. Just kind of aimed a little higher on the cue ball and then came down with the tip. Kind of like the old school players a little more. More of today, you'll see the guys aim lower on the ball and then come up with the tip. Okay, got a little angle on the 2. Not too much, though, to where he can't draw the ball back for the 7 in the lower left-hand corner. Real solid foundation and stance. And a real simple stroke, which is good. Now I have to stun over probably for the 8 in the side. I would limit the cue ball movement here, I think. So just stun over good 10, 12 inches. That's perfect. So it was an open table, but real clean out. Not a real stressful run out with the ball so open after a miss from Abe. But real solid, as you can see, and you can't accidentally win 3 rounds in a row on the winner's side here in the U.S. Amateur. And Abe led on during the time he spent in the booth that he quite hasn't. He feels like he, hasn't played his best game yet. So looking to shore up that miss in the first game and get on with it. Joe is going to go more with the head-on break, similar to the 10-ball break. Probably going to put quite a bit of speed into this one. Normally you break from there, hitting them pretty hard, pretty firm. 9-ball going 4 rails, but didn't go. So chance to redeem that miss here quickly here in game 2 for Abe. Both just at glance, I don't really see any, glaring issues for the solids or the stripes. I think they both are very playable. Maybe a little bit of an easier starter on the solids. The 8 over the side pocket. He's grabbing his extension, so it's going to be the 3-ball and then most likely the 5. It's got some work down here, though, a little bit. I keep looking at the stripes also. I know he's really only got 1 starter with the 15 on the side rail here, but Nothing wrong with either, I think. I think they're both very runnable. You obviously have to clear the 6 away to open up the 4 ball, but with the 7 near, should have plenty of options. 2's kind of out in the middle a little bit, and I think the 1 goes in the side also. Schaad here, he wants to be very clear-cut where he's going for position, though. Okay, got a little bump, so now he may end up playing that 6 ball because he doesn't want to shoot the 7 jacked up. Not sure the 1, I don't think the 1 goes by the 14 to the upper right. I think it's got it to the upper left, but certainly too thin of a cut. So I think it's definitely the 6 ball here. Could draw around the back side of the 4, but I think he'll come 1 rail towards getting on the 2. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I would be looking to get there. The 1 goes easily, so just draw back. You know you're going to have a little angle on the 1 to where you have to move the cue ball, but there's plenty of room to do so. Yeah, so shoot the 1, and you're just going to draw the cue ball to the side rail and back out. Now, don't baby it. You got plenty of room to come across and get on the 7. And he got there. So you can see, just like top-level players here at the U.S. Amateur, a lot of times you break dry, your opponent's going to clear the rack. Okay, taking the long-distance shot on the 8. So this is all about that straight shooting and that good form we've seen from Abe. Okay. When he released it, he wasn't so sure. And now tying our match at 1 game apiece. Now Abe has a very unique break here for 8 ball that you don't see from many players. It's hitting the head ball, but from more or less the side rail, which he hits them really square, but a lot of times that doesn't get a lot of energy into the rack. You don't get quite as good a spreads, but not the case here. Man, what a spread that is there. That's just like perfect. He made a solid, so he's gonna immediately deal with an easy rack. The 7's going to be the first shot. He'll have to get at the 3, which I think goes by the 9, but it should be the 7 first. Maybe getting the 4-3, and then the 5-2-8, something like that. Just because I'd like to get at that 3. It's, you know, some people might say you do the 7, then the 5, then come to the 4-3, but the 5's so clear. You got so much room up top on the. I'd like to get rid of that 7. Seems like the most ball that's covered up. And you might even shoot the 7, then come out and shoot the 3 in the lower left-hand corner. Well, I forgot there is a 6 ball down here on this lower left rail that he's got to attend to as well, but that's still not much of a problem. Just what a spread here he got on this break. I really think it's hard not to get out here for Abe. Or I'd like to shoot the 4 or 5, right? And then have the cue ball back where it's at now for the 3. That would be just ideal. Or does the 3 go by the 9 on the side? If the 3 goes by the 9 on the side, you're definitely shooting that next. Okay, so 3 on the side, 5 ball come right down the center of the table for the 6. You might shoot the 2 and then the 6 coming back for the 8. It's kind of how you fall on this 5 ball, what you're going to do next. But still, you'll notice the ball, the area near the rack, so open. You can come across the table off the 6 to the 2 very easily, or vice versa. And this is where you come straight down the table. Now he's thinking about, should I change my pattern here? I think so. I think you're always going to have shape on the 2, so not a problem here. Just be aggressive with the stroke coming down the table. And if you get good on the 6 first, that's okay. So he needs to hold that up a little bit. Again, that area coming across the spot where the rack is so open. Very easy to shoot the 6 and come back for the 8. Okay. Well, I guess the 9 goes by the 8, but other than that, I'm not sure what else he left for Joe Keith. Maybe a 15 ball that passes the 6. So a little nerves running high for Abe right now. You'll notice the cue ball had a lot more power on it than he expected. Maybe didn't even have a shot on the 6. So maybe a little amped up here in round number 4 of the winner's side. Big 9-ball shot here, though. Oh, he caught the 8. Caught the 8. So that one's going to hurt. Okay, and Abe's got to make a bit of a test here on the 2 ball, coming 2 rails back. Somewhere around the spot area, probably. He overcut it. He's going to play the 11, probably going up for the 9. He's got a lot of work, though, even though an open table, if he's going to try and run all the way out. Got a 10 ball on the side rail that's just, really in a bad spot considering the 6 and the 2 where they are. Wanting to get on down table. Oh, this is gonna make everything difficult. The safety difficult. All the shots are difficult. Really, maybe only has one offensive shot on the 14. I'm not sure. So probably some type of safety. Touchy little safety here, though. So I don't think he can see the 13. Doesn't want to leave a cross corner bank on the 6. So yeah, this is what I would have worried about here, leaving a cross corner on the 6 and a chance for Abe maybe even to cover that pocket or maybe sneak this bank right on in. I mean, I think he probably should. Maybe the bank doesn't go, but I know that if he moves the 6, he opens up. He opens up the 10, but you still got to believe he's a big underdog to win this game with only 2 solids on the table compared to his opponent's 5 stripes. Okay, it looks like he's going to the jump cue. Okay, well, a pretty effective jump shot right there. Really making things very difficult on Joe. Got a little kiss, so a tester here, but one that I think Abe's going to have to shoot at, being the 2 in the side. Got to regroup after a couple misses. Great shot. Great shot there, and gonna have to take just a little cut shot. He'll just kind of nip this in with a little right English to kill the cue ball. Kind of hold the cue ball up for a little better shot at the 8 also. No reason to really move the cue ball. All right, so game number 3 goes to Abe Schaad. Okay, again, a little different position than most that break the head ball and 8-ball, but really hit him solid and with the open hand bridge as well. He hit him great again there, and I think he made 2 solids on the break, which isn't always the best thing for you. But I think here it's okay. All right, so he's going to have to get at a 5-ball. And he's going to have to open a 7 and a 1. I might shoot the 5 now. I really might. I might shoot the 5 now if I can hold my ball on the 6 to have an angle to just rub the 7 and the 1 open. I hate to like shoot the 2 and not get that angle. I'd rather shoot the 5, I think, all the way down, which isn't a very difficult shot from where he's at. And I think it's easier to hold the proper angle. I think if you shoot the 2 first, you're kind of roaming into that area to have that angle. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still not bad. Still very doable because either angle on the 6, as long as it's not extreme, gets you the breakout, meaning you can go to the rail and break the 7-1 out also. You don't have to go directly. Like right here, he didn't hit it how he wanted, but he can still go to the rail and manufacture. But the problem is now is if he doesn't come away with a shot on the 7 and 1 when he breaks him up, well, he's going to have a difficult one on the 5, where if the 2 was still there, probably have a nice shot on the 2, but still should be all right. Little bump, perfect. So we'll see how he wants to play the 5. Myself, I probably play the 5 all the way up instead of moving the cue ball. I'd rather just, the 5's an easy shot, I think, all the way up by the 12. And then position is automatic on the 8. I'd rather not move the cue ball myself, but I think anyways, I think I like that a little better. But these guys are at the table and they see it a little better than I do. Okay, so like here, he's got to control what's going on a little bit more. Shouldn't be a problem, but say you underhit, you get elevated a little bit, or is he putting inside English on this? Okay, he's coming 2 rails long. Let's say he bumps the 13 and gets a little elevated like this. Now the 5 becomes missable. And that's what I meant as far as if you stay underneath the 5, there's no real risk at all. And maybe a hair tougher shot, but not much. It's not tougher than this one being elevated. But nevertheless, still a nice run out. And Abe Schaad stretching the lead to 2 games. Now 3-1. This will be our last game of our format here, which is a combination of 8-ball and 9-ball. 5 games of 8-ball and 8 games of 9-ball. He's made a ball on the break. Cue ball got kissed back and pinned up a little bit here, so. Look, I think he's just made 1 solid. Yeah, just 1 solid. He's just going to play a safety, a quick safety, keeping the cue ball underneath the 9. Pretty smart shot. He's going to try to return the favor, putting the cue ball underneath the 7. And it went a little long on him, I think. There might be a cuttable 2-ball on the side, maybe the 5 in the side. You'd like to wait on the 5 if you could. I'll tell you one thing he could do, though, is he could play the 5 off the 14 in the side and maybe open up maybe open up the 3. Big game for both guys, though, before we head to the 9-ball. 9-ball, you know, got players can put some racks together, so it's either a 4-1 lead for our defending champion or right back in it at 3-2 for Joe Keith. Trying to spin the 7 past the 13. I didn't even realize it went past the 13, but maybe it does. He's going to the jump cue. He's looking at the 1 in the side. Is that right? Doesn't want to shoot the 2 because cue ball's going right at that 8. Doesn't want to give up an early win for Joe. Well, it looks like he's playing the 1 in the side. And he knows he's leaving a lot of balls congested. That's another reason why he didn't play the 5 is if he plays the 5, he could have made it, but that's the ball that opens up the 3 ball for him, and it takes a little congestion away for Joe. Okay, so he'll shoot the 13, and I'm not so sure he can get on the 10 in any kind of way. He may just have to get an angle on the 14 and go into the 5 and try and disturb all of those. I think it's okay. The 12 does pass the 6, so wants to get past the side pocket just a little for that proper angle on the 14. Now he decided to come down for the 11. Nothing wrong with that, but you got to get at that trouble soon. You don't want to wait on the trouble balls. Okay, that's pretty perfect. Now he can go right into the face of the 15 with the cue ball after making the 14. 15, 5 might hit the piece of the 3, maybe just the 15, maybe just the 3, but you don't want to slow roll this. You want to put a little something on it. And I was wondering why he might have kind of hit it on the easier side, and maybe he was afraid of the cue ball getting away from him. I understand that, but anytime you're dealing with more than 2 balls opening them, I'm a big believer when it's just 2 balls, you don't have to hit them very hard to open them effectively. But when you're talking about 3 or 4 balls and they're near the rail, I think that becomes a little different. He's got a little straight shot on the 12. I don't think he can draw and get into the 15 or the 3 or any of that. Yeah, I think he's coming on top of him like that. Really just kind of in a pickle now. He's going to need some help from Abe to get game number 5 on his side, that being Joe. And I'll tell you, if you're an amateur player and you want to play in one nice event, this is one you should look into. The prestige is there. The quality of the event is there. You got a lot of great players. You got a list of players that have won before that be nice to be on the same trophy with them. I think he's trying to look at some type of trick shot. When I say trick shot, not, something out of the ordinary. It looks like maybe he's just rolling on this ball now, but he knows that it's that type of shot is just like waiting for another opportunity of some sort. looking at shooting the 7 and maybe going in with it a little inside and going into the 3, and that's after he pockets the 5. You would like to do it that way if you can, just because the 2 hangs over the side and the 6 on the side rail. You kind of figure it's very hard not to get a shot. The thing is, I don't want to take on a missable ball myself. You know, it's almost like, do you want to use your advantage, which is the layout of the table now? You miss this ball and you open these up. Well, he hit it great. He hit it great. It's that youth. All right, so it should be something like 3, 6, 1, 2, 8. I think. Yeah, just I'm not sure if he sees that. Real easy though. Stop the ball on the 3, follow down off the 6 for the 1, and you come up for the 2. It's leave the 2 as last. I think that's a lot less work at the cue ball. Okay, he wanted to get more straight. Not sure that was real necessary, but or maybe he didn't want to the way he's acting. But yeah, that's the right pattern though, is the 3, 6, 1, 2, 8. Everything kind of leads towards each other. That's the way they naturally want to go. Still don't want to fall too straight in here. And the good thing about this pattern, if you don't want to go all the way for the side, you got the 2 up in the corner. So all just about doing what you do, which is make them balls. Abe Schaad looking to extend his lead to 4. We're about to go to the 9 ball.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PullDog.com. You want pool cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PullDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
All right, a little difficult shot here trying to get safe. And this is where you may have to just kind of ignore the 1 a little bit. A lot of times when you try to control both the 1 and the cue ball, neither really get where you want. Okay, did pretty good, I think, especially with the 2 pinned on this bottom rail. As long as you don't leave something really doable, it's very difficult to play shape. he miscued. It looked like went right over the top of the cue ball a little bit, and it just slid off of it. Okay, he's got a tough little route here. He's just maybe got to come one rail and float past the 3 in between the 3 and 8. Call this kind of using your talent, your skill. There's not really a great reference to let the cue ball bounce off the second rail. I don't think anyways. Is he trying to go right into the 7? That's a dangerous shot, yeah. I like him just coming one rail, like I said, and floating right in between the 3 and the 8. You know, you'd love to not have the 3 there. Then you just use 2 cushions and you fall on that second cushion. But this is just about all he had. And it's a great shot there. Like I said, it's a shot I say you just got to use your skills, use your talent, just floating in there with a good pocket, good speed of the cue ball. Now, he should just rub the 9 a little bit coming up. Maybe not. Maybe he checks it and comes right up all the way up for the 3 in the lower right. It's kind of up to Abe. Yeah, he used the 9. Okay, good shot there and a really good stroke. That's one thing I didn't know Abe before this tournament. Real simple motion, but a real long motion through the cue ball. Good shot. Real natural 2-rail position, falling to this bottom cushion. Just a little high left. That's pretty good there. Close enough to it, he can cheat that little angle easily to come up. He's drawing the ball. Okay, that means he's a little straighter in than I thought. And Jason Bowman had told me a few things about Abe, and one of them, he doesn't waste much time. You could say Machine Gun Abe, but it just doesn't quite flow. We got to figure out a different one, I guess. Oh, Hurricane Abe. There you go. First hurricane of the season, Abe. I'm from hurricane country, so I know all about how they name them and all that. Boy, girl, start with A. Now 5-1. Okay, a little inspection of the rack. And that's just, that's just kind of policy. It's not really one thing or another. Everyone's trying to give a good rack. It's just that things happen, so. Okay, he took a little off there and used more of a cut break, which is, I think, trying to avoid from that one getting onto the back rail. It still did a little bit. Man, a nice spread making 2, though. Okay, so very difficult offensive shot. All right, he's going to cut it in. So a high ball don't think the scratch is really possible. Maybe, I mean, the 7's there. Maybe 2 rail scratch is possible. That's about it. Okay. Okay, not a cut shot for Joe. Maybe a long rail bank. He could definitely bank it away and tuck him underneath the 3 ball. You could say he could bank it at the 6 here with it hanging, but quite a bit of cut on that bank. I think he's trying to play him underneath the 3 with the cue ball, I think. Yeah, it's going to leak on him a little bit, so that's going to be a little upsetting. Because he hit it pretty well overall, really. And you should see, I think, Abe play the 1 on the 6, I think, with some speed, top English. You got a big pocket. I don't think you're supposed to play. He could play the cue ball, I guess, but I'd play the 1, I think. He looks like he's looking for the corner, which I think it's more missable than the 6 is, but I mean, you wouldn't slow roll the 1 at the 6, not at all, because you don't want to get trapped behind the 9 ball and the 4 ball with the cue ball. But you hit it with a nice high ball and let the cue ball just run. The 3's very available, just in case you make the 1 and the 6. Just percentages here, though, and he likes the 1 to the lower left, so nothing wrong with that. But just kind of feel like that it's a little more missable than the combo is. All right, he was trying to make the carom shot. Not the worst of ideas. Okay, definitely going to contact either the 4 or the 9 or both. So watch out for some. Okay, that worked out. Nice stroke too, Keith. Real smooth. Okay, doesn't want to get too far away from the 4, but all right, nice kill shot. Now this is a touchy little shot. I mean, you feel like nothing can go wrong, right? But the way the 6 is sitting, if he hits it with a little too much speed, the 4 could come off and knock the 9 in the way of the 4. Okay, nice shot. He went ahead and played it with more speed to make sure he cleared the 9. Okay, so in good position to get back on the board and his first win in the 9-ball session here, part of our session, and gonna get probably a look at Joe breaking the balls in 9-ball. It's gonna go a little bit. That's a bit short. It's close to it. I feel like he's gonna make it. Not taking much time, so very confident. He overcut it. And that's one thing about, he took a little more time on the other shots, and even though you're confident, you still want to stick to that routine. And, I wouldn't say it was one thing or another. It was just a miss. Okay, I don't like trying to get much closer to this 9. I like just staying on the upper half of the table. Oh, okay, what a stroke. What a stroke, and most likely Abe's going to get to the hill quickly. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Low deflection. One heck of a price from Pull Dog. Comes with a pretty expensive Kamui Clear soft tip. Think about just the value you get in the whole package there. Well, these players really got to appreciate strokers here and what all they do for this tournament, really clearing the room for some 5 days, not letting anybody come in and play any of their usual matches, just so the players get, the respect of the entire pool room and nothing to blame as far as distractions. And that's every year they do that. It's pretty impressive. Jose and his staff, they work their tails off, it seems like. Okay, he's got to stay off the rail and not straight in when he comes back for this 3, because he's got to get back for the 4. So kind of straight, but off the rail. So usually when the ball's out a bit, you can manufacture a lot of things when you keep the cue ball off the cushion. Okay. Little short, but the angle's good. So he's got an easy 2-rail angle back to the center of the table. And that was really pure there. So Joe, again, he's won 3 on the winner's side. He's made a couple mistakes in this match, but he's really had it during the 8-ball, had some runouts that just weren't possible and kind of just weren't going his way. But you can see plenty of skills by the man from Dyers. Oh, just as I opened my mouth again. I got to stop that. Okay, so they want to come back around the middle diamond, 2 rails back around the middle diamond, might give a nice big angle, and that's going to come back a little flat for my taste, but and Abe didn't want to come quite that far, that's for sure. But he's got a lot of skills, this young man does, so probably elevate here, maybe draw the ball or punch it. May just punch it 1 rail. Okay, yeah, no, he's drawing it. He's drawing it with low right. And he may have scratched. No, he didn't scratch. So Joe with a little reprieve here. Has a chance to get another one on the board. Should just come right down the left side of the table, a couple rails. Oh, he went to the other side. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Speed control was really nice. So 6-2 is our score, and this is the 4th round on the winner's side. So this is going to take the guys to the final 8 on the winners, I believe. Okay, he's made a ball on the break. Got a little kiss on the 1 to stop the cue ball. And I'm not sure the 1-3 combo is available, but the carom shot for sure is makeable. It's just a matter, can he hit it at a light enough speed to hold some shot on the 3? And if he can, he may just cross corner the 1. You know, if he's got a draw for this 1 ball, this kiss shot isn't so great. Just because the 1's going to have a little speed on it, might get away from him, leave him a really tough shot, and the cue ball be up on the end rail. Okay, got it out there. So in a good spot again. Get another one on his sides and make it 6-3. I'm not so sure the 4 passes the 6 in the lower right. So he may have to follow down for the side pocket. A little bit off on the speed control there, but he's got the upper corner just in case he doesn't still like that side. That looks like what he's taken on as the corner. A little thick. He may get a roll. No, he's going to give up a shot on the 4 on the side. So we'll see if Abe can regroup a little bit after that last miss on the 7, really, essentially to end this match. Abe had commented how the tables had changed a little bit, and that's a lot of people in the room and playing a little more sticky. But man, I was here for a few days and had balls on a lot of tables here at Strokers, and they played really, really well. And that looks like perfect cue ball control there. A little elevated, a little stretched, but on the good side of the 5 to where he can just come backwards a little bit and have the 6 in the lower left and a real natural. Is he going high ball here? Okay. He could easily just draw this back a little bit and be on the proper side of the 6 to get to the 8. No, yeah, like right there. That's when you're talented like that. Even more so, you keep it simple in these positions because all you got to do is get a nice little look at the 6, and you're probably going to finish this match off. Yeah, I like that. One thing that makes Abe a really good player, though, is he will look at options. Okay. Funny little shot if he tries to come out with the cue ball here. He's got to hit it pretty pure. Ball comes off the rail pretty easily when it's frozen, believe it or not. All right, pretty straight shooter there. And Abe Schaad's going to advance on the winner's side. Joe Keith will be back on the loser side, and most likely tonight, I'm guessing. And thanks again, everyone, for joining us here at the U.S. Amateur. I'm Jeremy Jones with Strokers Billiards and APA and Pool Dog making all this happen. We're going to have another round here shortly, so stay tuned. And our defending champion, Abe Schaad, advances again. A lot of drama building. We'll see you in a minute.